Hello everybody, here's one for you. No proper harness checks. What can go wrong will go wrong. I'm on the ground, there's nobody about but a few paraglider pilots. I've clipped myself in, I've done what I could. I've checked my harness like this a million times before. But anyway, as I've clipped in and started to go off to take off, one of the paraglider chaps come up and started to walk me to the front. Not easier to walk to the front with somebody on the nose wire. When we got to the front, and I thought to myself, well, I've checked the harness as I normally do it, but now I'll get him to do me a check. Now watch this. Because there's no pressure on there, I think both my feet are in. If I was in that harness, there'd be pressure on that stirrup, and I'd know that only one was in. But with the bungee rope on the right one, I just assumed they was both in. Okay, so now the rope, if you watch, is down between the legs. Now when I take off, normally, I say release, I take one step forward, the other step is into the harness, and the other foot goes in. So it's 3 steps in there. 1, 2, now I would be in. But look, I can't figure out what's going wrong. I don't have this trouble with my harness. What's going wrong? God, but there's the rope, see it? Down between the legs. In the end, I settled for what I could. The stirrup was up the side of my leg, and I got the other leg in, and I started forcing, hoping that it was just caught on something stupid and would free itself. But it never. I flew round and round and round. I tried to make the most of it. You're in the air, you're flying, but it wasn't exactly smooth, and with my glider I really need to be in control of my legs because I need to swing them out. Anyway, I had enough. I'm going in to land. Now the landing on itself was an epic, because I'm not concentrating right, because I'm all off put with the harness. You really need 100% concentration to fly. Well, not concentrate, but nothing putting you off. I fly instinctively, but now my landing mark is in front of all that big white car park, right next to my van in the corner. Now my safety overspill then is to the side of the car park. But I could not get down, my concentration is just all tap pop. So anyway, I thought I'm going to go into the fence. No, I'm not. I'm going to get down whatever happens. So I did. I managed to get her down. Anyway, a lot of palaver on the ground. Played with it. I couldn't really check the harness while I had it on. I had to take it off. I couldn't. Well, I just moved the glider forward. By the time I got the glider forward, I was knackered. Anyway, take off number 2. There's nobody about now, so, and I was in a frame of mind where I'm going to launch myself now. I've got the harness on now, and you can see it's on properly. But if you watch the stirrup, that's the little bar that's following me about there, you'll notice it's higher on one side than on the other. Now it turns out while I was in the air pushing on the bar, trying to force the harness to go out in a comfortable position, I actually spun and pulled the U that tube is on to one side. So if you watch now, the stirrup's high on one side, and I'm taking off with that like that. There's no way I end up with my foot again in the corner, this left hand corner of the stirrup, and on the string, but not on the stirrup. And flying around like that again, as I say, was no joke. It was lovely air though. It was bouncy and chucking, but I love all that. And it was really, the glider was really handling it, and I was really enjoying it. I'd give anything to have had that harness on safe. Anyway, I went to the front, nobody helped me, lovely takeoff, and away I go. Straight away I noticed something wrong again. Just can't get that harness, and I can't concentrate. So I flew around. A couple of times I grabbed some little blobs and managed to get some good height, but I couldn't concentrate 100%. Coming back over the bowl, there's always lift at that point for my glider. So whenever I run along that ridge, that running down the ridge is lower than what this is. So when you get down here, you can think you're quite high, but you're not. When you run back, you point out how low you are. That's the bowl itself, which is great. There I am, flying around. In a minute, there's a bit, I went along the ridge, and I could sense that the wind, it hadn't dropped, it had gone off to the north. So I ran along the ridge a couple of times because it was smooth air along there. I say smooth ridge and it looked that smooth to it, but it was a lot smoother than what the bowl was. But on the last trip along there, I was low, but I was in the bowl and I couldn't turn back in the bowl, so I had to head out down there. And to make sure I stayed up, I stayed over like the tree line. Sorry if my voice sounds knackered. I am knackered. I've done it. I couldn't fly for a third time today. Messed my day out really, that first takeoff. Here I am now, I'm a bit low, and I can't really get a turn there back into the bowl. So I decided to run along the ridge. And if you stay over that tree line, it's practically impossible to land. So if it's impossible to land, it should be impossible to go down the way I look at it. Anyway, I ran along the tree line, hoping and praying for a little bit of thermal or anything, but not that the thermals were working great today. And not that I'm the best with thermals anyway. Just dawned on me the other day, I go into a thermal and I count 1, 2, and then I turn. But I got like a second and a half, 2 second delay on my vario. Right, there I am now running back along the ridge. Now, it's a shame there ain't no sound from the vario. But I'm so off put with the harness. If you notice my vario, I haven't even tipped it up so I can see the screen. Because every little bit of concentration is on not messing it up with this harness, being uncomfortable like it is. But now I come back into the bowl, and I'm please, that magic little bit there, please be there. So as I go around that corner now, out of this bowl and round into the other bowl, I'm hoping and praying that woof, up I go. So as I get to the bowl, I'm rather low. Now you can only go in so far, because if you go in close to scratch like we used to, it's probably rotor off the bushes and the trees that are out the front. So I won't go right in, not unless I'm above the top. But I'm just scratching along just a little bit above the top of the bowl. As I went round the bowl, the horse, I managed to get my left back. So thank God by now I'm thinking what lovely air to be flying in, it's fantastic. And I got to get down again. And I know at this point now that there's no way I'm going to have the energy to carry the glider forward again. Doing it twice or once, after landing back was enough. Here I am now, I got my height back and I ain't going to risk going down. So I'm just going to go in over the top as soon as I can and get down. Now to top it all, as if I haven't had enough trouble, I go in for my landing and God, it must be the roughest landing I've ever had. I've never had any turbulence or bad landings. I go in, all my gliders just go in, nothing. But this one, I'm afraid I went in. It was nice, it was interesting. Don't know how rough it gets. If you can't handle it, if you can handle it, the glider can. So here I am now, I've got a decent bit of height. I'm going in, back over the car park. And I'm just not even trying to drag it out, I just want to get on the ground, I've had enough. So this time I've gone a little bit further back, make sure I get my landing right. Still ain't flying right though. Now I turn in the wind, and it gets a little bit, whoa. There you go, have some of that, Pete, and some of that. That'll do you, have some of that, keep it steady. And my God, was I glad to be on the ground. Anyway folks, so ended the lesson, and that wasn't a heavy landing, just the camera shakes. Anyway, there you go, that's what happens if you get it wrong. Thanks for watching.